Welcome to Football Scientific. I'm Aaron Sauter. I'm a writer for FootballAnalysisOne.com. I cover the Cincinnati Bengals, the NFL, and fantasy football. Also, on CFLNewsHub.com, I cover the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And on Football Scientific, we cover the NAL, the IFL, the NAL, I said that twice, and the UFL and the ELF European League of Football. This last week, we had a crazy week of football. 4th of July week in the United States. We had Canadian football wrapped up last night with the Edmonton Oaks getting their first win, as I predicted, against the Ottawa Redblacks. Also, the IFL Week 16 ends tonight as Bay Area plays San Diego. So early tomorrow morning, I'll probably make a video reviewing that and going over my power rankings of the IFL. But today, all we're going to do today is we're going to go through the NFL updates. There's a few updates in the NFL. And then we're going to talk about CFL, or the signing there by Saskatchewan Rough Riders, who had a bye week this week. And then UFL teams are starting to re-sign players. Michigan Panthers have signed a bunch of players. And then we're going to talk about the CFL games for this weekend and my updated CFL Power Rankings. This will all be done by me and my guest host, Tyler the Tiger. Tyler the Tiger here. Just fired up. Fired up for some football. Let's get this done. NFL, CFL, ELF, it's all going down. UFL, it's all going down. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's go then. All right, so first in the NFL, San Francisco 49ers tight end George Kittle is saying, hey, 49ers will be better than people expected. They had a lot of injuries last year. I expected they'll make the playoffs. Will they win the NFC West? I believe they'll win the NFC West, but some believe the LA Rams will. I think San Francisco has a better team. I think they reduced some players, Deebo Samuel, some guys with some attitude issues to try and make the team better. Brandon Ayuk's still there, though. They still got some weapons. We'll see. Do I believe in Brock Purdy? I don't. But I do think Kyle Shanahan knows what he's doing, and we'll get them back to the top of the NFC West. Justin Simmons, former linebacker for the Falcons and the Broncos, now getting some looks from the Eagles and Panthers. He's still a free agent, man. He's still a free agent. When you're an old, veteran free agent, it's hard to get looks. You know, people have some doubts. It's easier to get a young guy. You know, it's cheaper. New York Jets, new head coach Aaron Glenn says they have some raised expectations for quarterback Sauce Gardner. They really want him to step up and do some things. And the UFL, as mentioned, Michigan Panthers have added a bunch of players. They've re-signed some guys getting kicked off in the offseason. They signed quarterback Caleb Hayes. They re-signed offensive tackle Ryan Nelson. They re-signed center Noah Johnson. They re-signed tight end Gunnar Oaks is back. Wide receiver Devin Ross is back. Wide receiver Brian Dooley is back. Jalen Moore is back. Xavier Malone's back. Long snapper Peter Bush is back. Long snapper Jordan Ober is back. Kicker BT Potter is back. Punter Seth Vernon's back. Defensive tackle Walter Palmer's back. Defensive tackle Detroit Pasta it's a potato. It's a potato. Linebacker RJ Malone and Mick Taylor. Safety, Mickey Taylor, probably. Okay. All right. So that's the UFL. They're getting kicked back off. CFL. Saskatchewan Rough Riders had the week off, and they have added American offensive line Nick Jones. Okay. All right. So they're the only undefeated team left in the league. So I mean that's big. Okay. All right. So this weekend in the CFL, lots of games. First. Surprising game, Winnipeg Blue Bombers traveled to Calgary Stampeders. I really thought Winnipeg was a better team here. Calgary's been inconsistent. Their quarterback Vernon Adams had not thrown a single touchdown pass all season so far. They're 3-1. They were 2-1. 3-1 now. Spoiler alert. But they were 2-1 because of the running game and their defense. Honestly, Vernon Adams Jr. was really disappointing. But here's a big deal. Calgary Stampeders made a roster addition. They added a linebacker, Adam Bighill. Now, Adam Bighill is a long-time Winnipeg Blue Bomber linebacker, and he did not get re-signed this year. They couldn't afford him. They said he's too old, blah, 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 blah. He signed with the Calgary Stampeders. He knows their offense and defense inside and out. And, I kind of downplayed his presence. I didn't think him knowing what the Winnipeg Blue Bombers were going to do was going to be enough. because it's about execution. It's not about knowing things. But Calgary Stampeders have probably played their best game of the season. So Winnipeg went to a buzzsaw, really, with Calgary Stampeders. They did throw for 316 passing yards. They had 2 touchdowns, but they threw 2 interceptions. And that's probably the Adam Big Hill effect, is the 2 interceptions. And that's a big deal. They ran the ball for 92 rushing yards. Just 92, not 292. 292, they would have won the game. 92 rushing yards, 0 fumbles. Brady Oliveira returned with 61 rushing yards. Not a big day. Kind of easing back into things. Calgary, he was the leading rusher though. Calgary Stampeders, Vernon Adams Jr. broke through. He returned 22 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. His first 2 touchdowns of the season. 0 interceptions. That's a big difference. No interceptions, 2 touchdowns. Okay, they ran the ball for 114 rushing yards after they won the game on the ground. They also won the turnover battle. You win on the ground, you win a turnover battle. What's going to happen? Well, they fumbled once. They did have 1 rushing touchdown. Dedrick Mills, 93 run rushing, so they outrushed Winnipeg. And that means, okay, so they had turnovers and they outrushed them. The passing numbers are irrelevant at that point. So Calgary wins the game 37-16. 37-16. We were wrong on that one. We didn't expect Calgary to be so good. So Calgary's 3-1, Winnipeg's 3-1. Boom. Next, Friday night, Hamilton Ticats traveled Toronto Argonauts, battle of the QEW. As predicted, the Hamilton Ticats came out, they threw the ball well. They always threw the ball pretty well. They threw for 332 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. This was the 3rd time in Bo Levi Mitchell's career he's thrown for 5 touchdowns, or at least 5 touchdowns in a game. And he also broke 40,000 yards, career passing yards. So he's really having a great time. This might be his last year playing football. And he had a really great game. He's doing really well with his new weapons. With Tim White and Kelly Lawler, they're really showing the chemistry. They did run the ball for 100 rushing yards, their best rushing game of the year so far. That's good. They had 1 touchdown. Greg Bell came back and ran for 48 yards. So that they're moving in the right direction. They're running the ball well. They're playing very efficient offense. They're not turning the ball over. They did have 1 quarterback sack. So they pressured the quarterback, Toronto, a little bit. Toronto, still without Chad Kelly, which is a big deal. They threw with Nick Arbuckle, 339 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and an early interception. Boom, which set up Hamilton to take control of that game. They only ran the ball for 45 rushing yards. They had 2 rushing touchdowns, but only 45 yards. And newly signed player Kalen LeBourne had 1 rushing yard. They had 2 sacks. Boom. Hamilton won the turnover battle, won the ground game. You win the game. Boom. There you go. You got it done. Hamilton wins 51-38. They're 2-2. They're solid 2nd place in the East Division. Toronto Argonauts 1-4. They are scraping the bottom of the East Division. I hope they stay down there. Boom. Next game. Huge game. BC Lions came in at 1-3, looking like the worst team in the league. Played the Montreal Alouettes, who at one point were like the best team in the league, but they have not had a bye week, and everyone else has, and they're the Pens. Okay, so they're probably a little tired, man. BC Lions came out, Nathan Rourke back at quarterback, threw for 352 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Not great numbers. Good passing, good accumulation, but not great numbers, okay? They also had 88 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. Nathan Rourke ran for 43 yards, so he's primarily the running game as well, and he's not a dual threat guy. He just ran the ball a bunch. He had to do what he had to do. Okay, they did get 2 quarterback sacks. Montreal came out, they threw for 26 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Well played. Not the same rushing yards, but I mean that's not relevant really. They ran the ball for 120 rushing yards. They had a 76-yard rusher. They didn't score any touchdowns on the ground, but they did control the pace of the game. They had 2 sacks. By all accounts, Montreal should have won this game, as I predicted they would do. They should have won this game. But here's the deal. It was a close game. It was 17-18, last half of the 4th quarter. Montreal really didn't take advantage of the situation. They did score a defensive touchdown. When they scored a defensive touchdown, they're undefeated. They didn't do it. So they go down, they kick a field goal, they take a lead. Boom, 20-18. Okay? Then they kick off the ball. Boom. BC Lions get a penalty. They could have declined it. Okay, but they accepted it. And that gave BC Lions another chance at a play. So send the game. They made a big pass down the field. Boom. Now here's the thing. Here's the coaching problem. You got a team on their end of the field. You have roughly, let's say, 20 seconds left in the game. Okay? You would like to bail out, cover all the deep zones and make them throw underneath. Or, more importantly, Nathan Rourke is running all over the place this game. Drop to a halo look. Okay, take away all the deep zones, take away intermediate throws, make them throw it short, come up, make the tackle, let Nathan Rourke run it, come up, make the tackle, keep the clock running. Okay, but what happened was Montreal stayed in their base defense. They rushed the quarterback, and he threw a deep ball. Boom, threw a deep ball. Completed it. Then, next play, once again, play halo, drop out. They would have been a 57-yard field goal, okay? And Sean White probably wouldn't have hit that. Bail out. There's 0.2 seconds left in the game. Now, with 0 seconds left, you can still kick a field goal in the CFL. Time's illusion. So you could drop out, boom, get Nathan Rourke to run it, game's over, you win the game. 20 to 17. 20 to 18. Okay? Big win. Do your thing. You're 4-1. Okay? But they didn't. They played their base defense. And Nathan Rourke dropped back, and then he saw he needed to run. He needed to run. Now, if you're smart, let him run, kill the clock. The clock is dead. You win the game. They kick maybe a 50-yard field goal. Most likely miss it. You win the game. They didn't do that. They came up. When he was starting to run, they came up, allowing him to complete a pass downfield to make it a 42-yard field goal, which Sean White can hit. Okay? Time runs out, but no one cares. You still get the kick with 0 seconds on the clock. They kick a field goal. They win the game. 21 to 20. Big fight ensues. Probably going to be suspensions. Big fight. Ugly ending. Both teams fighting in the end zone. Huge upset for BC. Huge upset for BC. But really, it's just really bad game management by Montreal US in the end of the fourth quarter. The defense could have ended that game by allowing Nathan Rourke to run. But they tried to shut down Nathan Rourke and gave him open passes downfield. You can't do that. BC Lions get a huge win, 21-20 over Montreal. Montreal's lost 2 in a row now. Okay, they were at one time the best team in the league. They are struggling with Davis Alexander out. No one really thought Davis Alexander was the best player in the league. But, well, you know who's not the best player in the league? McLeod Bethel Thompson. I guess not it. So, with that in mind, you know, we went through all the stats. Montreal didn't. You got to really win as a defense that didn't manage the game right. It was a close game. BC's now 2-3 with a 21-20 win over Montreal. Montreal's 3-2, fighting for their East Division lead with Hamilton. We got a chance this week to take over, take the top. That would be huge for Hamilton, okay? It's the earliest we've been this good, honestly, in the last 6 years. Ottawa Redblacks traveled to Edmonton Elks. I had felt the Edmonton Elks were going to be the better team here. They've been on the verge of winning some games. They've been doing what you got to do to win the game, running the ball, playing good defense, doing what you got to do to win the game. Ottawa Redblacks were probably the better team, but they played really bad against Toronto. Outside their offense, special teams, defense, didn't get the job done. So coming out, I felt like Edmonton at home had a chance to get the first win of the season. Here's how it went down. Ottawa came out, they threw the ball, Drew back at quarterback, threw the ball for 316 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 89 rushing yards, 0 fumbles, no touchdowns. Eugene Lewis, who you remember had a spat with the GM, Ed Hervey, of the Edmonton Elks, formerly Tiger Cats. He had 75 receiving yards and a touchdown. He led the Ottawa Redblacks in offense. I mean, he made a point. He's pretty good. Okay, Edmonton Elks. They Trey Ford threw the ball for 241 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So both teams had 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. It's well played. Good, efficient offense. They ran the ball for 140 rushing yards, 0 fumbles. Justin Rankin controlled that running game. It wasn't all Trey Ford. Justin Rankin ran for 105 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. And that was the difference in the game. Edmonton won the game on the ground. They won the line scrimmage. Okay, they had a quarterback sack. They won the line scrimmage. They won the game 39-31. And they are now 1-3. And Ottawa is now 1-4. Edmonton gets their first win of the season. So, I mean, everyone's got to win in the CFL now. No 0 teams. The only team that has a 0 in their record is Saskatchewan. They're undefeated. So with that in mind, here's my CFL Power Rankings that have been updated. Okay, first, number 1, Saskatchewan Roughriders 4-0. They're no-brainer. They're the last undefeated team. Top team in the league. Very balanced offense. Probably the best team in the league right now. Calgary Stampeders surprised Winnipeg. I got to say they're better than Winnipeg. They just destroyed Winnipeg. I don't think they're really better than Winnipeg down the long run of the season, but they got us this week. I was wrong. So I'm admitting my failure on judging the Calgary Stampeders with Adam Bighill. They're at 3-1. Vernon Adams Jr. starting to make plays again. 3-1. They're number 2. Number 3, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I got them at number 3. I think they're actually better than Calgary, but they didn't show it this week, so they can't be above Calgary. They're number 3. West is dominating so far. Hamilton Tiger Cats, man. We got 2 wins in a row. We're got some momentum going in the positive direction. Okay, we didn't beat good teams. I mean, we beat We beat Toronto. We beat Montreal. You're struggling. Okay, with some injuries. But we got the wins no matter what. I say we're the best team in the East right now. Boop, boop, prove me wrong. Number 5, that's number 4. Number 5, Montreal Alouettes are 3-2. They're falling out. They've got the bottom falling out. They got to do something, turn it around. They got to get a win. That BC Lions loss might be bad because they got in a big fight. If they lose a bunch of players, suspension, they might take a third straight loss coming up here. They're going to be going on the way down. Hamilton gets a win against Ottawa, which is definitely possible. They would be top team in the East. That's a flip. You flipping the script. Okay, number 6, BC Lions were my last team in the league last week. But I mean, they got to win. They got to win over Montreal, so they're number 6, 2-3. Edmonton Elks, they're off the pine. They're number 7. They're number 7, 1-3. They got a big win over Ottawa. Toronto Argonauts are 1-4. They lost to Hamilton now. They are probably a better team than Ottawa Redblacks, who are number 9 at 1-4. They're struggling for continuity. Okay, so that's where we're at with CFL. Saskatchewan top team, Ottawa worst team. Hamilton gets a chance to play Ottawa this week. Let's boost our way to first place. They get that win, they go to first place. Okay, at least in a tie, and that's going to be great stuff. Hopefully Montreal falls out and we get to go forward. Toronto needs to stay at the bottom. Ottawa needs to keep losing. Probably going to have a crossover team. Looks like right now. And that crossover team would end up being Edmonton or the BC Lions. Probably BC Lions right now. We'll see. It's a lot. There's still a lot of season left. This is a 21-game season in CFL. We're at week 5, so there's still a ton of time left. All right, so that's where we're at. That's it for Football Scientific. We'll probably do an IFL episode real quickie tomorrow morning and go over to Power Rankings for that to close with that week 16 of the IFL season. They play tonight, Bay Area Panthers at San Diego Strikeforce. I say Bay Area wins that game, but I think it's going to be tough. Okay. All right. If there's anything else you got out there, we went up in subscribers. We're near 100. We're so close to 100. Help me go over the top. That'd be awesome. We'll keep growing the channel. We'll keep getting better. This channel's being shut down for using AI. We use no AI. We don't use AI. We come out, we just do this thing the old school way. I don't even use AI. I don't use thumbnails. You know, I could. I know how to make thumbnails. I do on footballanalysis1.com. But I want you to know this channel is real. Real football, real analysis, real videos, real characters. Okay, real good. That's Football Scientific. Portal is now closed. Boop, 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 boop.